Back here again, the GYTR torque assist clutch mod for the Yxz1000r 2016. As you can see, I got my transmission laying on the bench here now. Started taking a few things apart. Took the U-joints off, basically just knocked the U-joints out just like you would like on a pickup car or whatever. Then you can get to the nuts. You know, this one obviously has a bolt. This one down here had a nut on it. That's the collar here that goes to the rear drive shaft. One thing to notate, you know, I can't express more attention to detail when you're doing something like this. I've never done it before. I've actually never had a transmission like this apart before, so, you know, wish me luck. But you'll notice here, you know, you got some residue on these threads in here. Same with this bolt that was holding that yoke on. It's like a little bit of Loctite they had on there. So obviously, notice something like that. They probably had it on there for a reason, so when we put it back together, we'll be sure and do the same. As you see, I got my clutch pulled out, clutch basket. The main nut right here on this shaft, 30mm nut. One thing to notate here, see there's a little indentation they have pressed into that shaft there. And on the nut itself, you'll see there was kind of a little crimp right there. And basically what that is, after it's installed, you take a punch, knock that little sleeve down, basically turns it into a lock nut so that thing cannot come off. One thing I like to do when I take those apart is get a little screwdriver or something and knock it into that little gap to expand that collar back out, so when you take that nut off you don't damage any threads. Obviously you don't want to force it, but it takes 2 seconds to do, a little bit of security when you're taking stuff like that apart. Other things to notate, obviously we got a collar in here with a washer behind it. I don't know if I can slip that off right now or not. Some nasty transmission oil all over it, but anyways, stuff like that you'll want to notate. This is actually a collar with a sleeve that actually sits inside of that washer, so when you take stuff like this off, obviously take pictures, make notes, lay it out in the sequence that it came off. But stuff like that's real easy to miss, especially like that washer behind it's kind of got concaved a little bit, like maybe it's got some sort of, it's a spring washer of some sort. I don't know the technical names for them, but anyways, I pulled the clip off for the shifter, the shaft coming out of the front side of the transmission, front of the machine. So that allows me to pull this shaft out right here. Basically just shift linkage here. Go ahead and pull this out. And you'll notice, again, there's a little washer inside there. Stuff like that's real easy to miss, so be sure and, you know, pay attention, good attention to detail, so put stuff back together, it doesn't blow up on you. The next thing I'm going to do here, I already pulled all the bolts on the outside of the case, just to save a quick step. Pull this spring off down here. Basically, once I get that out of the way, that'll free up this lever here for the shifter. This star, this is actually going to stay with the back half of the transmission, so that's going to stay. So that's why we're going to free this up, take the tension off here, and then as you can see, we got 2 more bolts inside here holding the case halves together. So once I get these 2 bolts pulled out, I'm going to remove these washers up here, this one here, and I'll probably just slide it right back on the shaft, so I know where that goes. I got all these freed up, so at that point there shouldn't be anything else to knock this case in half. So that's going to be it for this little video. I'm going to do a little bit more work, progress, and I'll be back with another one. So thanks for watching.